All right, so we are live. Hello,
Lovely.
everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. For this live session we're doing, I have a very special guest from Conscious Audio Unlimited. I did put his channel link in the description, so please be my guest to go over to his channel and and you know take part in his content. He has a lot of amazing content. Today we are talking about spiritual bypassing, so we get to pick his brain and see what his feelings are on that, and we expect you guys to chime in the comments as well. Of course, you know how we do it, guys. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Give us a brief introduction of yourself, and of course, talk to us a little bit about your channel first.
Okay, so of course, hi, I'm Conscious Audio Unlimited. That's the name that I go by on my channel, and yeah, I'm from London. And basically, my channel started up in terms of spirituality and consciousness, when I believe I came into a spiritual awakening. Um, of course, that came about as a slow process, but then it started to speed up and speed up and speed up to the point where, it definitely felt like one thing after another in terms of positiveness and positivity. So, yeah, it definitely was flowing, things was going in the right direction. And then I realized that, it's not all about speaking about stuff in a positive manner. There has to be a lot of spiritual and hard work to go with it in order to achieve what you want to achieve in the spiritual realm, and also down here on the physical plane, because we're on the planet Earth as well. So it's not going to be always an easy ride. That's the main message that I wanted to get across. But it is, anything is possible when you put your mind, body, and soul into it. So my channel started off as just not taking it too seriously, but I put up a few audio clips by itself without no video at the beginning. And then I realized that, you know what, I'm really interested in this spiritual awakening. Let me add some videos to it. Let me take a risk and do the jump and go to the next step, adding some video footage to it as well.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you did because your channel was actually one of the first channels that I started to watch on a regular basis. And I just love your content, your candor, and you seem to be really knowledgeable about the subject, but also just genuine. It feels like you're just sharing your journey, just like I am. So I really connected with that. Um, so it sounds like you're saying that you started out just sharing your perspectives, but then it turned into something more. Is that what I'm hearing? That you realized that there was going to be a lot more kind of work to it with regard to dealing with the spiritual realm and meditation and focusing on not just talking about spirituality and feeling good, but actually but actually focusing on maybe some shadows and quote unquote negative things that were in your subconscious mind as well.
Absolutely, yes. So as I say, you've summed it up perfectly. And yeah, the spiritual journey is not going to be always a smooth ride, but it's what you make it. It's what you make
Mhm.
it out to be. It's as I've seen you say in on your channel many times, you can manifest anything that you want. I feel like life is a journey, and when I've been watching Life's Magical Journey, I feel like you've enlightened me in so many ways to so many new ideas, ways of thinking, processing your thoughts, and really honest in what you've been trying to get across as well, because you've definitely shown that it's not going to be everything that you think it's going to be from the beginning, but you can turn it around and make it into a positive outcome, and really visualize and really dream what you want your life to be. And not only in this realm, in the spiritual realm, and beyond the physical.
Hmm. And that has a lot to do with one of the recent. And thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. But in a recent video I did, I was just saying that same thing. It's like you feel initially like, oh, it's all rainbows and sunshine all the time. But as you saw on my channel, I've talked about losing loved ones and dealing with things like that that are not, it's not, from a human standpoint, it is definitely not something that is a positive thing, but there are some good things you can get out of it. And I do like to promote acknowledging your shadows. If there are negative, quote unquote, negative feelings or emotions that come up, I want to acknowledge that. And then I think more recently, not it's not a surprise to me that you wanted to talk about this topic in particular, just because this has been coming up in my reality recently with other friends or on things that I've come across, talking
Mm.
about not setting aside your feelings, not, you do have to acknowledge those feelings and kind of process that. And I think to me, it's all about changing the meaning you're giving those things.
Right.
Talk to me about any experiences you have with that, changing the meaning. And I mean, like, for instance, maybe something that happened in, for, naturally, it's like most of the time it's something that happened in your childhood that you've given a meaning of. Maybe your parents, you have abandonment issues because your parent left, and you felt some type of way about it. You felt like it was a direct reflection of who you are and what you are. And maybe you felt, not you, but maybe you end up feeling worthless in a sense. But being able to change that meaning and give it a new meaning and process that and let those feelings, those negative feelings, go.
Okay, yeah. So that's a great start, and I would love to shed some light on that. Um, you know, I feel like definitely growing up, it was quite busy in terms of where I'm living. I'm living in like the city life, London, so it's very busy, and the environment can be quite tricky to deal with at times, especially when you're in your period of secondary school, and we call it secondary school over here, and things like that. So mainly are based around the surroundings, the peers, and the childhood experiences were basically mainly around self-image, the way that I viewed myself, and I'm not only talking about inside but outside. So the way that
Mm,
my thought process was, because I was always quite different in terms of the way I think. I'm a big thinker, I'm a deep thinker, and I like to attack and achieve my goals very very accurately. So yeah, it's definitely with the image. I felt like I was ignoring the fact that it's not what other people think about me, it's what I think about myself. It's not what other people feel about me, it's what I feel about myself. My body image, the way I talk, the way I look, and the way I carry myself. And even down to small things like the way you walk. It's just being self-conscious. So as my channel is Conscious Audio Unlimited, it's not only about um being conscious of what's going on in society and being conscious of what's going on around me, but also being self-conscious, but in a positive way. So I had to flip the script and change the way that I viewed myself, and the thoughts, the ideas, and and create new pathways of thinking that would help me elevate to a new level and rise to a new level, because you're not going to stay in one place for a lifetime if you vision where you want to be.
Right, right. I can definitely relate to that. And I think for me, unfortunately, fortunately now, uh, so I've been able to change the meaning I've given some of those experiences I had as a child as well, and I attribute that to this journey and to just being open. Being open to change is a big, big part of it, and not feeling such an attachment to those people, places, or things. I think for me, it may have been, the lack of having my father in my life. It's made my adult relationships with male figures kind of rough, and I think I've been more so on the anxious side of the relationship, and always feeling a bit needy. And I think it had everything to do with those abandonment issues that I felt as a child, not growing up with my father in my life. Luckily, I did have at least my uncle who was really close to a part of my family, but it wasn't really quite the same. So I do appreciate you sharing that as well. But basically, spiritual bypassing. Can you give just a quick actual definition of it for those people who are just coming in? Thank you guys for coming in, by the way. Hi Tech. Hi guys.
Yes, thank you so much, thank you so much. Can I just say thank you so much for having me as well? You're a wonderful host. And what I wanted to say about spiritual bypassing, the way that I understand spiritual bypassing is that it's a way of basically bypassing the spiritual steps or the steps of life, but you can't actually skip steps. You have to go step by step by step by step, and there's no point trying to jump 4 or 5 steps and missing out the first few, so in terms of, say for example, what we was just talking about for the people that's just come in the room, body image and stuff like that, and self-confidence, self-belief, a way to say you would be bypassing that, or jumping steps, is to say, um you know who cares what they think, everything's positive, everything's great, I'm a spiritual being, and nothing can touch me. Of course, it's okay to say those things, but if you don't have the belief behind it, and you haven't done the spiritual work and practices to elevate your mind to a new level, to really stay in tune with yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, and to be focused on your goals, where you're heading, where you want to be in life. And it doesn't come easy, as I say. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of time.
Mhm.
From A to B could take you 3 years, but from A to B could take another person 1.5 years. So it is definitely, spiritual bypassing to me is about trying, well, when you're spiritual bypassing, you're trying to avoid things, go around things, or skip steps in terms of spirituality. And you may actually use spirituality as an excuse to say, well, I'm spiritual, I'm righteous, I'm holy, I'm great, which are all good things to say. But if you don't believe it, and if you haven't done the work to actually be in that space, if you're in that space, it's great. But if you're not, then I would say saying it is like a way of skipping the steps, and you will always have to come back to the original step that you've skipped, because there was something that you needed to learn at that period of time.
Okay. Now, do you feel that on this journey, on this spiritual journey, do you feel that each of our steps, is there a set amount of steps? Is there a set name for each step, or is all of our steps a little bit different?
Well, I would say absolutely the second one. All of our steps are absolutely different. They're always going to be unique. Every individual is unique. Um, I'm not too, I don't have that much knowledge on astrology, but I believe we all come from different parts of the universe and stuff like that. So everybody's journey is going to be different, and some people will pick up spirituality at a faster pace than others. um but it's all about being honest with yourself, being true to yourself, and really identifying what it is that you need to work on at that moment in time, being authentic, but not just saying I'm authentic, really trying to get in tune with what it is that you're feeling and who you are as a human and as a soul.
Hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that. And I think that, I definitely agree that each person's steps that they should take is going to be quite a bit different, or maybe if some, there will be some similarities, but I think for the most part, each each step will be different for the next person. But I feel that, I know there's going to be no surprise when I say this. I think meditation is the one key that we all need. That's the one thing that I would say we all need, because it's not a matter of looking outside of yourself to go read this book or see these specific steps that you should take. It's not like that. This is a spiritual journey. And so I think that when you are working on that relationship between you and you are connected spiritually to your higher self, then you can feel those steps. You can, like, so if someone comes and they say, hey, you should be learning, if you're on a spiritual journey, you should be learning about how to cleanse your chakras, for example, or you should read this specific book. I think that with meditation, you'll be able to discern if that is for you at this time or not. Tell me what you feel about that, and how to recognize the steps that are next in your journey.
Okay, you made some great points, and actually, the two kind of connect in my opinion. In my humble opinion, I believe that meditation is all about tuning in with oneself and being in alignment with what you what you feel and what your thoughts are, and just accepting. But it does take time to get into that routine, that meditation process. But one thing that I do usually is 30 minutes a day, half an hour a day. Take time to really sit with yourself and experience the emotions that you feel on a deeper level. So when taking the time out to sit down and just sit in silence, there's no magic recipe for meditation. Meditation
Mhm.
is what you feel is rightfully for you. So
Mhm.
and I know you know all about this, but for the listeners, um, it's just really for me sitting in silence for at least half an hour, just to be in my presence and to really not try to escape what I'm feeling, but to actually enjoy, not to enjoy, sorry, that's the wrong word. You may enjoy meditation, but not all the time. To
Mhm.
actually just accept what I'm feeling and actually to be in one space, in one chair for at least half an hour. Um, the second thing that you was asking me was what was that again? It was meditation and
Well, just your opinion on how you go about as a new person, newly on a journey. How would you go about knowing what steps are next for you?
right. Yes, so that's the connection. So I would say meditation is definitely a way to find out what the next step is for you to take, to really tune in with yourself and to actually say, I was feeling this yesterday, I'm feeling this in this moment in time now, and tomorrow I may be feeling in a slightly different way, but I can always alter my future, possibly by tuning into how I feel in this moment in time. Um, Being honest, being authentic, being genuine, and having patience with yourself, because meditation can help with patience with on the journey that you're on. Excuse me, it's quite hot, but yeah, it's definitely like it helps you to identify what your weak spots are, if you want to say that, because your weak
Mhm.
spot can actually be a strength if you identify it in that way. But what you feel you could progress in, and what maybe you feel is something that you would like to improve on, should I say?
Okay, okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that because for me, when I first began this journey, I think I've talked about this several times on the channel, I was anti meditation. I just didn't think it was for me. I was one of those people that was like, I can't meditate. I thought it was something that I just couldn't do. And, now I know it's because of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts we have in a day that was just telling me, no, that's just a story I keep telling myself that I can't do that. That's not for me. I had heard about meditation and it was really woo woo. It was something that I thought was like, it didn't click. It didn't make sense. Do you have a story like that behind meditation and behind getting familiar with the process? How did you begin always doing 30 minutes, or how did you ease into that?
Yeah, so it's a definitely a long journey because meditation is very at the beginning stages for me, it was very hard for me to tune into meditation. I would sit down for like I don't know, let's say well, first of all, I would use guided meditations and things like that to actually try to get me to tune into it. Different frequencies like binaural beats, isochronic tones, um, yeah, so of course guided meditations, binaural beats, isochronic tones, which are different things that you can find on YouTube and on the internet, on applications, just to help me to get into that smooth groove of meditation. But it wasn't easy. I did only up to maybe 20 minutes and then I would stop. I would definitely find it difficult to continue. And it's not for me about trying to reach a goal in meditation time wise. It's mainly
Hmm.
about saying I've made the effort and I've made a conscious effort to actually ground myself, to sit down and to bring my energy into a calmer, more peaceful place. Um, and it takes time. So it wasn't always easy for me, but now definitely when I feel that I need to, I understand the benefits, which is a more calm, a clear mind. So then I can do half an hour, sit in silence and just set a timer on my phone. So that's my journey with meditation all round. But it
Hmm.
has been quite difficult and still is quite difficult because we live in a busy society. I believe there's so much things that we need to do, there's so much responsibilities and duties, um, but also doing what makes you feel comfortable. So not actually trying to go full speed ahead into meditation, because I've actually heard some people say that meditation can be dangerous if you don't know what you're getting into. And I think the reason for that is that you're tapping into your inner world and you may have left it, you may have abandoned your inner world for quite some time. So things are going to rise to the surface that you never really knew were there.
Okay, I could see how that might be a little bit dangerous mentally because you might go into some sort of shock. I myself have recalled things from my childhood, not necessarily due to meditation, but just being on this journey in general. I've recalled things that I had really suppressed, and I had to come face to face with those things. And so I could definitely see how meditation could be a little bit dangerous in that. I also, just for anyone who's listening, I am going to go to the chat in just a minute so we can answer some questions if there's any questions in there. But just back to meditation really quickly, I will want to suggest that everybody don't um, don't approach meditation as a way to state chase. Like a lot of people think that, oh, meditation, I'm going to have visions, I'm going to see things, and I'll be able to now do things or see things that or go to a higher elevated state. That is true. Yes, you will likely over time reach an elevated state, but don't go into it that way. Don't go into it state chasing because that's an easy way to stay right where you are. What you I think that what when you persist on reaching a certain state, you'll automatically resist that. You won't likely make it because you're just going into it trying to reach a certain state. And so that's one my little tidbit on that, and my suggestion is don't go into it with that mind state. Just open up your heart and open up your mind, and allow your inner self just to bless you. That would be my recommendation. uh, what do you think about that while I glance here at the comments really quick?
I think that opinion, you shed light on a lot of topics there under the umbrella of meditation, and you definitely was quite accurate in what you were saying. I would agree. I mean, I can't really add much to that because you've summed it up perfectly. Um,
Thank you.
yeah.
All right. So if anybody has any questions, we did want to keep this live pretty brief. I appreciate you guys for coming in and showing up, and all my Journey Gang members here. If you guys have any particular questions, we'll open it up for questions. I don't see any questions in the chat right now.
Hmm.
But if anyone has any questions, we can address that and then in the live. While we're waiting for questions to come in, I will just say thank you so much for coming on to my channel. You have blessed me so much, and I'm probably on. I probably have not seen all of your videos, of course, but since we came in contact, I've been spending a lot of time on your channel, and I'm so grateful that I know you took a little bit of time off recently, but I'm grateful that you're back. You are one of my friends. In my head, I haven't met you, but in my head, you're my friend, and I'm so grateful for you, and I'm thankful to have you on the channel. You've blessed the Journey Gang, and not just for the people who are here live. Thank you to everybody who is here live, but thank you to the people who will be blessed in the future as well.
Thank you so much for having me live. I'm forever grateful for your presence, for your videos, for your energy, for your aura, for your determined nature to keep on trying despite any setbacks and to push yourself forward through all challenges. I'm so grateful to actually have come across you in this lifetime while I'm alive. So thank you so much.
Yes, it's my pleasure. And I don't see any questions, so I think we'll go ahead and end it. Guys, we are also we're going to go live right now on Conscious Audio Unlimited, his Instagram page. And so go to his channel. His channel link is in the description. I didn't put the Instagram in there. So if you're
Yeah.
interested in following him on Instagram as well, he goes live on there, I think, a little bit more often than he goes live on the YouTube. But you'll want to connect with him on both platforms, whether you're in the live today or you're watching this on the replay. Be sure to hit hashtag replay so we know that you've connected with us, and we are grateful. And we love you all for no reason at all, and we will see
Yep.
you next time. Thank you so much.
Peace.